Now that we get to the big budget cupboard, and sources are telling ET now that the government is working on proposal to provide some relief to taxpayers. Now, it is also expected to continue with the Capex target that was announced in the interim budget. Prakash Priyadarshi, my colleague, filed this report earlier.
Yes, we are learning from our sources that the government is likely to provide some relief to the taxpayers in the upcoming union budget. We are given to understand that new tax regime is likely to be made more attractive with the announcement of some relief measures. Sources are informing that a new tax slab may be introduced under the ambit of new tax regime in order to provide relief to the maximum taxpayers. Along with that, relief is also expected for the taxpayers earning up to rupees 5 lakh in a year. Along with that, the limit of standard deduction likely to be increased beyond rupees 50,000. In addition to that, the overall tax exemption with all benefit could be increased to rupees 9 to 9.5 lakh. So these are the specific recommendations which have been made to the finance ministry. The sources are informing that the government is expected to announce some of these recommendations in the forthcoming union budget. Now, coming on to capital expenditure target, sources are informing that there is no major changes which are expected in the capital expenditure target for the financial year 2025. The government is likely to continue with the capital expenditure target which was announced in the interim budget. Some minor tweaks are expected based on the ministry's demand. As you are aware that the government has allocated around rupees 11.11 lakh crore in the interim budget when it comes to capital expenditure target, which is likely to be continued. Some key sectors like railways, road transport and highways, housing, rural development are expected to get high allocation. And despite that, sources are informing that the government will maintain its fiscal discipline roadmap for the financial year 2025, which is 5.1%. The government is likely to maintain its fiscal deficit target of 5.1% or even lower for the financial year 2025 and 0.5% by financial year 2026.
So those are some of the expectations of the budget. In fact, we spoke with a bunch of big market guys with what their expectations this budget are. Let's get a slice of those conversations.
I don't think the focus, the priority is going to change. I still believe this is going to be more an infrastructure and investment oriented budget. In the first place, clearly what the markets would surely not want is a hike in the tax rate. So I think that's something which probably the market is not prepared for. There is of course talk around it, but I don't think the market is really prepared for. And if that were to happen, that would surely impact the markets. On the expenditure side, clearly believe that the big focus will continue to be infrastructure.
For the US market to stop being such a great big bull market. And I don't mean to become a bear market. If it becomes a bear market, everything will go down. But instead of going like that, if the S&P just goes like that, then of course, people start to look for alternatives elsewhere. And then they would immediately notice India because of all its attributes, is rightfully right at the top of the emerging markets. It's entirely normal, even in bull markets, that you get a correction of about 10 to 15% at some point during the year.
The fiscal, I would say, which expanded during the pandemic, but frankly, India wasn't an exception because all other countries also expanded their fiscal during the pandemic, is on a path of consolidation now, and we expect that to continue over a period of time. That debt to GDP number needs to consolidate to below 80% and probably get close to 75, which is why we think that the government is very likely to stick to the fiscal consolidation path and target 5.1% of GDP in fiscal 25. But the more important thing is that going forward, also, we expect that consolidation to continue towards 4.5 or lower fiscal deficit.
Budget Master 2024 is back. Watch ET Now on 23rd July, 8 a.m. onwards and answer the budget-related questions that will be flashed on your TV screen. Send your answers on WhatsApp. Type BM24 space your name space question number space right option and WhatsApp it to 888-665-9273. Lucky winners stand the chance to win brand new smartphones. Watch Budget.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.